Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the HP EliteBook x360 G5. So the name is it's a bit of a mouthful. So Elite is HP's business brand, obviously. So this is a commercial laptop. I'm always a big fan of EliteBooks. They're wonderful PCs and they have a lot of really great features. So EliteBook, obviously, it's a laptop. 1040 means it's a 14-inch display. So the 1030 is 13.3 inches, the 1050 is 15.6 inches, and so on. Okay, and then G5 means it's the fifth generation, and then, of course, X360 means it's the 360-degree convertible. Okay, so there's a couple notable things about this device when compared with the last generation, the G4. Now, the G4 was the EliteBook 1040 G4. There was no X360. It was a clamshell. This is a convertible. And that also means there's a bit of a drop in specs. So the HP EliteBook 1040 G4 had an H series processor. It's a 45 watt chip from Intel, and it's powerful. And there was a little bit of a problem, and the problem with that is that one 45 watt chip doesn't get great battery life. Most Ultrabooks, including this one, has a 15 watt U series processor, which those are now quad core. So you're putting a lot more power into that 45 watt processor, and the biggest problem was that there was no dedicated graphics. So you're getting a big bump in CPU performance that might not be necessary if you don't have the bump in GPU performance, because things that you're doing with that extra performance, gaming, video editing, stuff like that, you need the graphics performance as well. So for productivity related tests, that 15 watt U series processor is not only fine, but it's probably optimal because you get that additional battery life. So let's get this open. You see it comes in a basic cardboard box, and there's a reason that HP ships these in here. If you buy a Spectre, which is the consumer premium device, that comes in a much nicer box. But this is a commercial PC, so most of the people that use them are never going to see this box. IT can stack them easily. It's fine. So we got some paperwork in here, which I'm not going to read. All right. We have a return label. So power cable here, and then we're going to have the power adapter. This is a Type A to Type C cable. All right. So this is an adapter for the power cable. It should still be in here. Yeah, so if we pull this out, you can see that this is the power brick. USB Type-C charging, which is great. This is something that I didn't care for in earlier EliteBooks that I reviewed, is that they had the Type-C charging, but they came with a pin charger. And I just want everything to be Type-C all the time. So this is an adapter that we can use just to kind of shorten the power cable. So if I can just get this open. All right. So yeah, you would just stick that in there, and there's your power cable. Or you can use this guy and plug this guy in. It's an extension. So lots of companies do that, and I think it's great because more options in power cable length. Wonderful. Over here we have a USB Type-C to Ethernet adapter, which is also very nice. These things are great, especially when you have so many more devices that just come with USB Type-C ports, or there's at least a shortage of Type A ports. So a Type-C to Ethernet adapter is great. And we have a pen. Okay, so the pen should be rechargeable, which is always nice. Yeah, so it has a USB Type-C port on it. It comes with a couple extra tips, which might be, that's right there. I was going to say it might be falling out. Wait, no. Some tips did fall out. Okay, so there's a bunch of pen tips in there, which is great. The pen costs something like $79. So it's optional. It doesn't come with every unit. Okay, and so if we get this open, we'll see that it has a USB Type-C port, and we're going to take their word for it. All right. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, another thing about the name of the device, 1040. It doesn't just mean 14. The 40 means 14 inches. The 10 is the 1000 series is premium. So if you look at, say, the 800 series, that's mainstream. So this is the high end. This is where most new features debut. Not all of them, because as we're going to see, this device, there's an option for something called SureView. I don't believe it's on the model that was sent to me. It is not. So SureView is a pretty cool feature. It's a privacy display. And what that would do is, if you're looking at it from the side, you can't see what's on it. And that's to prevent what's called visual hacking. And visual hacking is when someone is just kind of looking over your shoulder and looking at what you're working on. So, say you're writing up some news that's not going public yet, and you're sitting in Starbucks writing it. You don't want anybody to see it? Perfect example. Okay, so this uses SureView Gen 2, and SureView Gen 3 is out in some of the new devices that were announced at CES, although they did not announce any 1000 series devices. So that is one area where a new feature debuted in the 800 series. So one thing that's cool about Gen 3 is that it supports 4K displays. Also, another thing that you'll see on SureView Gen 1 and 2, if you look at it from the side, the screen is just white. And with Gen 3, it just turns dark. So that's a difference. But that's also one of the things that I really like about EliteBooks. They have a lot of these really great security features that I feel like everyone could kind of use. And so, but they brought SureView to the Spectre lineup as well now. So if you buy a new Spectre PC, you can get it with SureView. One of the guys from HP often says that there's two kinds of people that need SureView and people that don't know they need SureView. It's a great feature. So there's a lot of great features on here. There's like Sure Start. So there's like a master copy of the BIOS, and when you boot up the PC, it checks to see if the BIOS is corrupted. If it's corrupted, it replaces the BIOS with the master copy. Sounds like common sense, right? SureClick, which is basically a browser that's to protect you from malware and such. And there's just plenty of stuff like that on EliteBooks. And I feel like I'm a big fan of Lenovo ThinkPads. If you read my reviews or watch my videos, I love ThinkPads because I think they're great PCs. I think they're the best, maybe the best all-around PCs. Although this one might sell me. But the point is, I think that for a business class of PCs, I think that HP has that feature set of just stuff that makes sense, and they're continually putting more thought into things that make sense for business that they can add to the value proposition. Because like ThinkPads are technically commercial PCs, but they're just great PCs. There's no particular, although they did announce a new privacy display, and I do think that SureView is still better. We can take a closer look at this. Pretty much covered everything that's in the box. Over on the side here, we have a USB Type A port, headphone jack, combo audio really, it's microphone also, power button. All right, let's see if we can, oh, it just boots up, that's great. I'll explain that in a second. USB Type A, HDMI, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and a volume rocker. So, by the way, I love that it booted up, because so many PCs that I get to review don't boot up. For some reason, you got to put it on a charger before it boots up. The battery is not dead. You see there's a little bit of light bleed along the bottom, which is kind of a bummer. Yeah, I love that there's a volume rocker on the side. That's fantastic. It's great for convertibles, right? Because if you're using this thing as a tablet, you want to be able to control the volume without the software switch. So another thing I really want to call attention to here is the display. It looks really nice because this is an anti-glare display, and most of the anti-glare displays that I've seen are not very good. They tend to look kind of washed out, maybe a little blurry. Just from what I've seen so far of this, I believe it might be the new standard that I set anti-glare displays to. So you can see that it does look really good. We're gonna close this. So if we go, there's HP Support Assistant. That's what you would use to update drivers and such. We have HP PhoneWise. That is a feature that allows you to send and receive text from your phone, make calls, stuff like that. I think you can even mirror your phone with Android now. One thing that's really cool about PhoneWise is that it works really well with iOS. A lot of these solutions don't, particularly Microsoft Your Phone, which doesn't support iOS at all. Dell has a solution called Mobile Connect, and that with that your iPhone needs to be on and the app needs to be open for it to send a text message. With this, that's still the case, but you can put your phone's PIN into this app, and it will actually wake your phone, unlock it, launch the app, and then put your phone back to sleep. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'll probably be using it with Android, though. So we have HP Softback Download Manager, which is pretty much another place to get drivers, which is kind of weird. I've had some HP EliteBooks where I've had to use that, so we're just gonna say save. All right, so you see the display looks really nice, and I'm not seeing a glare at all. I like it a lot. The keyboard is really nice. It's very sturdy, doesn't wobble, and HP talks a lot about this. They made a lot of improvements to the keyboard, and I'm going to be testing it out. It's supposed to be really quiet as well, and I'm going to be testing it out. I had some issues with EliteBook keyboards before, and it might be a personal thing because I know a lot of other people have written really good things about it. But yeah, we're going to test it out. It should be. I'm confident that I'm going to like this one. Very confident. Trackpad. Glass trackpad, pretty standard stuff. It's not particularly large, although it's large enough. B&O speakers on the sides. So you're going to get sound firing right up at you if you're watching a movie. We have speakers over here. So that's the thing, right? If you're using it as a tablet, you still get sound firing at you. Okay, so, or if you're using it like this in presentation mode, sound is still firing up. So another thing that's great, although it didn't go off that time when I just woke up the PC, it supports Windows Hello. There are IR cameras up here. Also supports fingerprint, which is really nice. It's nice to have that kind of choice because not everybody offers that. I prefer Windows Hello. I think it just I prefer facial recognition. I think it just makes sense to sit in front of the PC, have it recognize you, and log you in. One thing that I don't see on here is HP WorkWise. That might be available. I'm going to look through the Softback Download Manager for that later because that's a really cool feature that some EliteBooks have, others don't. And what that'll let you do is it'll let you know if anybody tampered with your PC. So, for instance, right, I walk away with my PC. Someone says, "Oh, Rick's left his computer open." They go and close it for me. I'll get a notification on my phone that says someone has tampered with your PC, even though it's something that's obviously harmless. And there are better examples of more harmful things that could happen. You can use it to install printer drivers and lots of stuff like that. Just useful stuff that's meant to work with your PC. So this is not responding, so we'll just check it out later. Okay, so the Softback Download Manager did end up working, and it seems that WorkWise is still not an option. It's kind of a bummer. I think it's a great feature. And it only works with Android these days. There was some compatibility issues at some point. When they first introduced PhoneWise, it couldn't work with WorkWise. And so now you can do both if you're using Android. Really, a lot of the features with anything, the Windows features, the HP features, whatever, that are meant to work with your phone work better with Android. And that's just the way it is. It's Apple's fault, nobody else's. Okay. So yeah, only comes in this color. You don't get the fancy colors that the Spectres come in, which is a shame. It's just that natural aluminum. It's called natural silver. It's that natural aluminum color, and yeah, it's going to be a great machine. I've reviewed a lot of EliteBooks in the past. They're always impressive machines. So yeah, got narrow. It has a very tall bezel on top, which is kind of weird. Has a fairly large chin, which often happens on HP. The larger chin is fine, actually, I think, on a laptop, because you're looking down at a display on a laptop. So if a chin like that can prop it up a little bit, make it a little more comfortable to look at. Another thing I didn't point out, by the way, if it had SureView, it would be the F2 button right here, and you would just press the F2 button and it would turn on that display, and you can easily just turn it on and off like that. Just one button turns on the privacy display. So this is a 400 nit display. The SureView display is 700 nits because it needs that extra brightness for the privacy. And that's about it. So this is the only laptop I'm reviewing right now, which is great. So I should have a review ready in a couple of weeks. So that's great. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.